how to get a girlfriend. A girl who's beautiful, big boobs, somebody who's attractive, somebody you can care for, somebody you can support, and perhaps someone who you can one day marry. And I'm going to set a timer and tell you exactly how to get a girlfriend, not just as a random normal person, but as a teenager. Because at the end of the day, if you're a young guy, you're young and aspirational, you don't want to be sitting at home, you don't want to be like me, just here sitting, recording videos, speaking about nonsense. No, you want to get out there, speak with the chicks, and get a girlfriend. And I'm going to tell you how to score one as a girl. As a boy, sorry. I'm going to tell you how to score one as a young guy. So the first thing is you've got to understand that this kind of approach is volume. And you've got to understand what you're getting yourself into. You've got to know that if you have a girlfriend, you need to support her. You need to care for her. You need to provide food, water, shelter, and clothing. Everything. So if you're going to get a girlfriend, you need to have one step done before you even approach anyone. You have to get financially stable. What I've done, because I know this is crucial, is I've gotten a job. I went for an interview, I found a friend, I did what I had to do, went for job interviews, whatever I needed to do to get some sort of income. Because now, if I get a girlfriend and she says, can we please go for ice cream, or can I please get a dress, or whatever, I have a couple grand spare, about 2,000 Rand, I'm going to call it $100 to $200 extra. And again, I'm young, so I don't have to pay for food and rent and all those kind of things. But I've got a bit of money extra that I can pick up in a car, get an Uber, whatever I need to do, and can buy her a dress once a month, or I can get her some food, and it's not a problem at all. If you have zero, how can you even approach the girl? Because you're not even going to have petrol money or an Uber vehicle to get where you need to be to even see the girl in the first place. First step, get financially stable. And the more financially stable you are, the better. If you can have a difference between having $200 and $2,000, get as much money as possible. If you have to work 5 jobs to do that, do whatever you can. I'm doing YouTube, I'm working with an American company, following up on leads. I'm studying and all these things just so I can become financially stable. And in the future, it materializes more. Step 1, become financially stable if you want to get a girlfriend. Now, let's assume you're financially stable. Step number 2 is you need to understand the game. Okay, it's not just you and this girl. It's not like an isolated world where you are the last people on earth and you are forced to repopulate the earth. That would be a blessing from the Lord above. Imagine just you and the most beautiful girl alive and you have to repopulate the earth. Take from that what you want. But unfortunately there's competition. There are other people. It's not just me. It's me and you and all your friends and everybody else. If the girl really is beautiful, you're going to also want her and everybody else is going to be competing. Speaking with a girl today, and she said that her boyfriend is able to fly airplanes and make them and amazing stuff. So how am I supposed to compete making videos or doing whatever? Obviously I'm the big strong guy, so I have gym and I have videos and I can speak and all these things, so I might be able to compete. But with you got to understand, the girl's really beautiful. You are trying to compete with somebody else who's much richer, much stronger, far more capable, more networked, they've done more, they've seen more. So you've got to become the man. And you've got to understand who you're competing with. Competition is fierce. I have a good friend of mine, he's a blacksmith. And so he picks up anvils and he hammers down knives and he does leather work and he makes hairpins, amazing things. And I've spoken with him many, many times. But even he, no matter how, even though he's incredibly skilled and he can forge iron with his hands and hammer down the metal with his right hand and sharpen the knife on the whetstone, he says that a friend of his is even better. There's always someone bigger, there's always someone stronger, there's always someone smarter or more capable. I've got a good friend, his name's Ricky. He's a really smart kid. He got 8 distinctions in high school for math, science, English, physics, all of the subjects. 8 distinctions, a genius. And then he decided to go and study actuarial science to use his mathematical brain. And he did. He actually is doing well in actuarial science. I believe he's in either the 2nd or 3rd year. But he said to me that the competition is so fierce. He thinks that he's smart. Meanwhile, everybody is smart. To get into actuarial science, you need a certain number of points from your high school. He says that the competition is fierce. No matter how smart you think you are, there's always someone smarter. And there's a man named Ricky, got 8 distinctions, and there are people who are smarter than him in school. Which means 8 A's. Straight A student. Flawless. Genius. So you've got to understand who you're competing with. There are lots of other people who want a beautiful girl. Not just me and you, it's everybody else. So that's the second thing. But there's a third step. You've got your financial stability, you've understood that there's fierce competition. But just like if you've done any sales, any cold calling, cold emailing, the more people, the better. If you could click your fingers right now and you had 10,000 YouTube videos to your name, I guarantee you're earning money from it. If you could click your fingers and on an online platform you have 100,000 product listings, I guarantee you are a millionaire, maybe even a multi-millionaire, because it's volume. Every single little aspect, it's like a Lego. Imagine you're making a Lego tower. Every little block provides the stability and gets the tower a little bit taller, a little bit taller, a little bit taller, a little bit taller. So if you want to get a girlfriend, you have to make tons and tons of approaches. Yesterday I was in the office here, and there was a beautiful girl waiting for an interview or something. And so of course, you're going to be formal as an employee of the company, etc. But being in the office, I am allowed to integrate and whatever. And I sat down next to that girl. I was going to sit outside. I've said it before. I wanted to be by myself and be on my phone and think, etc. I decided to sit next to that beautiful girl. And I asked her questions about herself and learned and chatted. That, my friend, is an approach. And once you've done a good approach, once you've let them speak and you've found out about them and you've cared and you showed them by demonstrating your higher value. Oh, and on the side, I also have a job and I work for an American company, and she can see you financially stable and you dress well and all the normal things that are common sense. Then you could, if you really want to, say, look, let me take down your number. Maybe one day, this is the script. I want you to get a pen and paper, write down the script. This is the script. Are you ready for it? Here's my phone. Why don't you take down your number? So that in future when we're in this shopping center or that place, we can get some ice cream, we can go out together for some fun. We can go out together for some fun. Because you're not saying that you want to go out to do X, Y, and Z. You're saying, let's go out for some fun. When you have some free time, you can go to this shopping center or that shopping center. Let me know when you have some free time. You give the phone. And if you've done a good job by listening and showing that you care, and as I said, demonstrating that you are the man and you are the big boss, she'll give you a number. Absolutely no question about it. And then from there, if you're happy with her, then when you have some free time, you message her and say, hey, do you want to go? And then from there, then you can get a little bit more intimate and a bit closer. And I've done this countless times. I was with the Uber driver and I stopped and I asked the lady for a phone number. I did it. I went to the community center and there was a few girls there. The one smiling with, the other one told me this, asked me if I could sit down with them. I wasn't really interested in pursuing her or I wasn't interested in her. I didn't find her attractive, so I ignored it. But the point is that it's making lots of approaches and speaking, and instead of sitting outside there by myself like a loner, find a beautiful girl and go sit next to her. Just chat. And the crazy thing is that I've got a great friend named Stan. Now, Stan's a proper player. He knows how to chat with the girls and make them feel relaxed and make them want him and etc. And he said what you do is you find an ugly girl. Fat one, doesn't matter. No offense, but fat one. And one that isn't attractive. And then you start to chat and you get comfortable through that. And then you can, with your skills, you can chat and talk and seduce, if you want to call it that. And you find the beautiful girls, and now you've taken it seriously. So that's another one. I want to call it either step 3 or step 4. Again, step 3, we're saying make lots of approaches, but step 4, practice. Practice on the ugly ones, and then go to the beautiful ones. So, in summary, that's how to get a girlfriend. And we've run out of time now. But the point is that you should need to make lots of approaches. You've got to learn how to speak well. You've got to be the man and be confident in yourself. Because once you've done that and you make lots of approaches, there ain't no way you ain't going to get a girlfriend, even as a teenager. And don't doubt yourself, because your thoughts, your feelings and your actions become reality. You can speak things into existence and you can think things into existence. I believe and think I'm going to get a girlfriend and I have a girlfriend. And that's exactly how it works. And you need to do the same. That's how to get a girlfriend, even as a teenager.